Man, this game was absolutely excellent. An excellent Metroid game, man. It was awesome. I had fun all the way through, man. Really one of the best Metroid games ever, man. Um, I love that it was. I like the challenge to it. I like that it wasn't too hard, but it wasn't too easy either. The difficulty felt just right. I loved all of the extra lore with the Chozo. You know, we finally got to see the freaking Chozo in the flesh in this game. We've never had that before in the Metroid game, ever, ever. The only time we've ever seen a Chozo is in the freaking Metroid prequel comic, and we've seen like little like flashbacks here and there, and like I think I think Metroid Zero Mission had a flashback where you see the Chozo, and then there were the Chozo ghosts in Metroid Prime One. Those are just what were they? They were the Chozo that went crazy from like the spirits of the Chozo that went crazy from the Phazon there, and they were just enemies, mindless freaking enemies. That's all they were. They weren't like actual Chozo. Here we actually get freaking Chozo, and we're on the actual, we're on the planet, and we get to fight one. And Ravenbeak was awesome, man. He was an awesome villain, one of the best villains ever in a Metroid game, hands freaking down, man. He was just a straight up boss, figuratively and literally. So yeah, he was really cool, man. I gotta say, I do like the design of Samus's suit in this one. My only complaint was the gravity suit is a little too much purple. The gravity suit got a little too much purple on it. I would have liked if some of it was gold. You know what I mean? Some of the purple was gold. But that's just me. Yeah, I really like the design of the freaking Varia suit in this game. It looked beautiful, beautiful, and awesome. Man, it was freaking gold, and her trademark orange and red, along with white, gold, blue up in there. It was a beautiful suit, man. Her suit designs was excellent in this game. Also, I would say the levels were really good too. It felt like proper Metroid. This is a proper Metroid game, man. This is Metroid here. This is what Metroid is. Metroid Prime is excellent as well, man. I really enjoyed Metroid Prime, but this here will always be Metroid at its core. You know what I mean? I like that we got to hear Samus speak Chozo. She spoke a little Chozo. She had one. It was her only line in the game. Admittedly, she's the silent protagonist. Well, unless you count, if you exclude Metroid Other M. Some people don't. Some people, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Metroid fans out there, or at least a good sizable chunk of them, that consider Metroid Other M to be one of the worst Metroid games, if not the worst. Out of the main Metroid game timeline. Yeah, we got to hear her speak Chozo. We got to hear the Chozo speak Chozo because, of course, what else? What other language would they speak? Yeah, man, and also her ship design. I didn't talk about the ship design. I didn't really, I wasn't even thinking about the ship. Her ship is huge this time around. It is massive, man. Her ship isn't usually that big. It's the biggest ship I think she's had so far. Yeah, I'm not too. The design is meh. Yeah, I mean it's so. I don't know. I don't really feel any particular way about the ship. It's just there. You know what I mean? It doesn't really stand out in my opinion. Considering the other ship designs she's had in previous Metroid games. I honestly, about that ending, man, that's probably, I would say that suit at the end is probably her, like, that is the craziest suit she has ever had in any Metroid game so far. I don't know what you would call that. I don't know if you would call that her Metroid armor or what, but it was It was so cool. It was wild looking. You know what I'm saying? Wild looking and powerful and untamed, and it was cool. And it looks like she became a human Metroid there, which is awesome, man. She's a full. Isn't that something though? She's the last Metroid in the universe. She was the last Chozo. We thought that Chozo would extinct, but now we see that that's not the case. So she truly is the last Metroid. Isn't that something? Isn't that like some sort of irony right there? She went to exterminate the Metroids only for her to end up being the last one. But that is so cool. I love that though, man. She became, you know what I'm saying? Like the series is named Metroid. It's named. I love that. So now because I'll admit the title Metroid, the name of the series was beginning to feel like a what do you call it, a legacy title. It's just there because that's what the series has always been known for, even though it doesn't really mean much because there's no Metroids. You know what I'm saying? The Exterminator Metroids kind of played sort of a minimal role. I would say they're always kind of in the background. They were a major threat a few times in the game, such as Metroid 2. I was cracking my knuckles. Metroid 2, they it kind of played a prominent role. The baby played the baby Metroid, the last Metroid in the galaxy, whatever, or in the universe that she saved. It hatched out of the egg after Metroid 2, after she exterminated all the other ones, and she, became fond of it, and it imprinted onto her as a mother, and until until Super Metroid, where it sacrificed itself to help her fight Mother Brain, and through it she gained the Hyper Beam through the baby Metroid and was able to defeat Mother Brain. So Metroids have played a prominent role here and there, but it was beginning to feel like a legacy title. But now it doesn't. Samus is literally a freaking Metroid now. She's literally a Metroid, so you can call it Metroid. Like, it means something. The title really does mean a lot more now, which is really excellent. Whoever wrote this game, kudos. My hat is off to you. We saw that Sakamoto is the producer, and he was. I was wrong as well. I remember earlier in my playthrough, I was saying how Gunpei Yokoi was the main guy behind Metroid. No, it was actually Sakamoto, Yoshio Sakamoto, which begs the question of what the heck was he doing with Metroid Other M, man? You know what I'm saying? Both him and Gunpei Yokoi had a hand in Metroid, but he's kind of like the father. Yoshio Sakamoto is the father of Metroid. But yeah, why would he Metroid Other M, I don't know what he was going with that, but yeah, it wasn't terrible. Like I said, Metroid Other M wasn't terrible. I had a lot of fun with it, man. But yeah, the story wise and the writing, the story wasn't great, but yeah, so something that was left unclear to me. Well, we found out. I'm about to say something that was left unclear to me is what the heck happened to Adam. We just found out he was on the ship with us. So when did Ravenbeak take over and assume Adam's Adam's identity? When did he do that? Was he always doing that when we first landed on the planet, or what? Was Adam always on the ship? I don't know. But that was a surprise, though. I'm wondering, what did Ravenbeak, like, how was Ravenbeak able to, how would he have been able to copy Samus Aran? Where did he get her DNA and whatever from? Oh, you know what? Maybe it was when remember at the beginning she was knocked unconscious and then woke up with all her abilities and stuff missing. Maybe that's when he did it. So maybe he somehow got her DNA. I don't know. I assuming he probably deactivated the suit. Maybe. I mean, it's his race's technology, so I would assume he would know how to operate it. You know what I'm saying? I do know for a fact that the suit cannot be removed from her while she's unconscious. It's the reason why in Metroid Fusion her suit looks like it is. The Galactic Federation scientists or doctors, whatever you want to call it, engineers, whatever, they pulled off a bunch of. They couldn't remove her suit without killing her because it's genetically linked to her, and she controls it. She controls it. She wills it, into existence. Like, she materializes it. It's hers. It's linked to her, so it cannot be removed forcibly without killing her, which is a pretty bad weakness now that I think about it. Nah, hey, get her unconscious and then just pull the suit off. Bet she's dead. But oh yeah, I almost forgot to talk about her suit's abilities, man. How on earth did I forget about that? Yeah, she has new abilities in here, man, that we've never seen before. Like the what do you call it? The cross bomb or whatever. The cross bomb, that's new. Having the bombs going up, the morph ball bombs going across. I've never seen that before. The storm missiles, that's well, it's not necessarily new, but we had the Metroid Prime games had what was called or they have what's called the multi-missile pod, I believe that's the name of it, where you lock on. It's very similar to the storm missiles here. the storm missiles are very, or I guess I should say the storm missiles are very similar to the multi missiles in the Metroid Prime series. But yeah, they very similar. You hold down the button, and then depending on how long you hold it down, the longer you hold it down, the more targets that you can acquire to shoot missiles at, and then when you're done, it just simultaneously fires a missile at all of the targets that you locked on. So yeah, that's how that worked in Metroid Prime. So it's very similar. The storm missile is very similar to that. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's new, but we've never had an ability called a storm missile before. So in that sense, it is new. The Aeon abilities, these are brand new. I have no idea what an Aeon ability is. I don't know. All these three abilities here are completely new. The Phantom Cloak, the Flash Shift, the Pulse Radar, and I actually like my favorites are the Flash Shift and the Pulse Radar out of the three. I don't care about the Phantom Cloak, honestly. It seemed to only be useful for the Emmys and getting through some of the doors, the sensor doors, and that's it. But once you defeat all the Emmys, there's no more use for it. So the Phantom Cloak is kind of, it sucks. But the Flash Shift is really good. I love the Flash Shift. Gives her high mobility during fights. Letting her dodge. I love it. It's really good. The Pulse Radar was very, very useful for helping me find items throughout the game world and stuff like that, and secrets and different places where I can go to progress the game and all that type of stuff. So the Pulse Radar was a very nice addition. It was very helpful, so helpful in fact that I didn't need to look up anything. I didn't need to look up any help with finding items except for that one puzzle, like I told you guys. But that was for traversal though. I didn't know how to get it. I had to use the Shine Spark and all that stuff like I explained earlier. So yeah, the Pulse Radar and Flash Ships, very welcome abilities, and I hope they make a return in future Metroid games in some form. We have the Spider. None of this stuff here is new. Yeah, this stuff is not new. Well, the Spider Magnet is sort of new. It is new. We haven't had a Metroid ability. Well, we haven't had Samus hasn't had an ability that lets her grab on the walls like that and climb up. We haven't had anything like that I can recall. We have had the power grip where she can just, which is weird. It's just the glorified. It's just her hanging on off of a ledge. That's it. Wow, she can grab a ledge. She does it in this game, but it's not called anything. She just grabs a ledge and can hold on. But in some Metro, I forget which Metro game it was. They call it the power grip, like as if you need a name for such a mundane action, But yeah, we have had the Spider Ball, in the Metroid Prime games where once she goes into her Spider Ball form, she can use the Spider Ball to travel up magnetic rails and get to help her get to different places that she otherwise couldn't have gotten to, or get access to different things. So yeah, it was called Spider Ball. There it is, the crossbar. That is brand new. I don't really know how to feel about this. I don't really feel any particular way about it. I feel like it was only useful in. Well, no, I guess in 2D Metroids it could be very useful. It could be useful. It could help with puzzles and stuff like that. I feel like the crossbar was only useful with getting items and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like helping you get to items. That's it. I cannot think of any use this could have in fighting monsters. I've never used the cross bomb in a fight. I only ever used it for traversal and for getting items and stuff. That's the only thing it was useful for. Traversal puzzles. So. You got your classic morph ball and your classic bomb, your classic gravity suit. You got your classic wave beam, diffusion beam, grapple beam. None of this stuff is new. This is all standard. Well, not standard, I guess I should say. This is all traditional Metroid gear here. Metroid game gear, or Metroid gear, or gear from Metroid games. You got your ice missiles and super missiles. So and they stack. In some games they stack. Sometimes you can switch between them, such as Metroid, Super Metroid. You're able to switch between beams. Turn them on and off and stuff like that. Which would have been, I don't know. Yeah, which is okay, which is fine. So yeah, man, abilities are fine, man. I love it. I love this, man. I love it. I love we had a lot of traditional Metroid abilities and gear and stuff, in addition to some new stuff here, you know, in the cross bomb. So yeah, her abilities were great, man. And this department here is excellent, man. This department here is excellent. So yeah, no complaints here, man. No real complaints here, except for the useless Phantom Cloak and and next to useless cross bomb. But yeah, man, great here. No complaints from me here. Oh yeah, and the power bomb is standard too. How did I forget the power bomb? Yeah, power bomb is arguably her one of her most powerful abilities, if not the most powerful outside of gimmick attacks. The gimmick, not gimmick, but outside of the one-time temporary story-based upgrade weapons like like the Metroid cannon that we had here. You know, when she was in her Metroid form, or the hyper beam from Metroid Prime. No, not Metroid Prime. The hyper beam from Metroid Prime 3. I mean to say, outside of no Super Metroid, outside of those super powerful situational story based abilities, the power bomb is usually her most powerful or one of her most powerful attacks. I don't know. I think it might be tied with the screw attack. I don't know. The power bomb seems to be more powerful though. Like it's basically a miniature nuke. It's basically a miniature nuclear bomb. If I remember reading that right, I remember reading it in one of the Metroid games. It's a miniature nuclear explosion, which is insane, man. So yeah, I think the power bomb is probably her most powerful ability usually outside of the story based stuff. Now, I also want to talk about Ravenbeak's power suit. I love that they gave him a version of the power suit, man. That is so. I'm glad that they actually paid attention to that, that detail, and then just and didn't just give him some sort of like armor or anything like that. His armor actually made sense because Samus's power suit is an ancient version that was given to her by the Chozo. Because remember, I mentioned this. I told you guys this earlier on in the gameplay. How they, the Chozo took her in. They raised her as one of their own. They infused her with their blood, so that if I can talk, so that she could survive in their atmosphere on their planet. And they trained her in their warrior ways and yada yada yada, all that stuff. And they gave her an ancient version of the power of their power suit technology, or of their power suit. So it's cool to see Ravenbeak actually using another version of the power suit. And he has the arm cannon, and you can see him during the boss fight. You see him using the shine spark, which is really freaking cool, man. I really appreciate that attention to detail there. It makes sense, because it is their technology. It is the Chozo's technology. And it also makes sense that he's using abilities that Samus doesn't have, powered up abilities that she doesn't have, because her power suit was ancient. At least I think it is. I don't know. I don't know. I do know that in Metroid Zero Mission, which is a retelling or remake of the first Metroid. It was a remake of the first Metroid. In that game, that power suit actually got destroyed, if I recall, and then she had to get a new one. She got a new one from planet Zebes, another planet. I think was it Metro? I mean, not the Metro. Was the Chozo? I don't remember if it was planet Zebes or not. I think it was Zebes. It was another Chozo planet. We'll just say that. I don't remember which one it was. She had to go there. She crash landed there during from a space pirate attack, and her suit got destroyed, and she had to get a new one, a brand new one. So I don't know if that suit was like a current model or what, but all I know is that freaking Ravenbeak was a freaking boss. There you go. That's all I know, man. They need to explain why Samus's suit changes design throughout the video games. Like, what is she doing to it? Is she tweaking it, between adventures, or what? That's probably the case. The suit is designed to be highly modular, meaning it's able to be it can be changed to adapt to whatever situation that Samus needs. She can change it, or you can incorporate different technologies into it and be added on to in order to compensate for whatever challenges she may be facing, or for whatever needs that may arise. So maybe that's what's going on there. She's modifying and changing it, constantly, or gradually over the course of her adventures. But yeah, it was really nice. I really appreciated that attention to detail with Ravenbeak, having him actually have the power suit, a version of the power suit on. I still don't understand that cut, that flashback showing his hand and Samus's hand. Like, I don't get what that means. Oh yeah, they were showing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, man. That revelation, that freaking, um, he was the one. The game was implying, or at least seemed to be implying, that he was the one. His blood was the one that was infused into Samus. Holy crap, man! That was a nice revelation. That's what I'm saying. This game's story this story had a lot of revealing information. A lot of revelations in it about Metroid, the Metroid lore and whatnot. Like I was saying, this game's lore is huge. This game's story is huge in the Metroid world. Yeah, man. So he was the one, huh? So in a sense, he killed their father, huh? But I could have sworn Old Bird was like a father figure to her. Old Bird from the comics, I think he was the one that had a prominent role in her upbringing. And she saw him as sort of a father figure, and she saw the Chozo as her family because they raised her. But yeah, so that's something, man. That is something. Oh, I should talk about negatives too. Have I talked about it? Oh no, the performance of this game. That's a negative. But yeah, I'm gonna say the art design was really nice. The music was okay. The gameplay, the controls were a little clunky. Let's move on to negatives. Let's move on into the negatives now. My biggest complaint about Metroid Dread would probably be maybe what gave me the most frustration. Maybe the clunky controls. The controls are a little clunky, unfortunately. It can be hard to activate stuff on the fly. You have to press this button, then hold that button, and then you know what I'm saying. It's like, holy crap, man! And then this game wants you to do all this stuff on the fly in a boss battle. Do it really quick, or when you're trying to get an expansion, you have to. Those are supposed to be challenging though, but still, you know what I mean. I don't think the challenge should come from how because the controls are hard to do it this way like this. No, I think it should be entirely on skill. But I felt my frustrations in this game came from the clunky controls and me not being able to do what I wanted to do. Because of how the controls are. Like, I'm trying to do a freaking spin jump, like you guys witnessed during the final battle. I'm trying to spin jump, and she would just do that jump up, that like slight jump instead of flipping up in the air. Some of that stuff just frustrated me a bit, but overall I enjoyed this game. Another negative, is world traversal. Traversing in this game was pretty bad. Getting around, man, it felt like whenever you wanted to go somewhere, you had to go on a freaking trek because the game seems to do everything in its power to prevent you from getting to where you want to go, man. For a game that's all about backtracking and going back and exploring new areas to get new items and stuff like that, why on earth do they make it such a pain in the butt? Even late game, man, you think the teleporters barely offer any relief in either, because they're tied together in pairs. So if you find a red teleport, it's only one of each color pairs. So there's only two purple teleporters, and they can only work between each other. There's only two yellow teleporters, and those can only work between each other. There's only two red teleporters, and those can only work between each other. And the problem is the teleporters are spread so far out that they don't really offer that much convenience, man. Like, in order to get to one, I still have to make a trek to one, and then that might not get me to where I want to go. So say yellow, for example, a yellow teleporter might be in one area, but I want and I want to get to, let's say 1, 2, 3. We'll name the areas 1, 2, 3 just for an example. Like, a teleporter might be in area 1, and I need to get to area 2, and the closest teleporter is the yellow teleporter, but the other yellow teleporter is in area 3. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to area 2, but the yellow teleporter is in area 3. You know what I'm saying? The one in area 1 is too far away. It's like pretty far away, so it's not that convenient. I found that to be the case most often when I went to go use the teleporter. Like, they should have made it so that the teleporters can just go to anyone. Like each teleporter operates with each other teleporter. They work with each other, not just separated by color and in pairs. They could have figured out some sort of system where maybe you have to unlock each teleporter before you can use it. You know what I'm saying? And so by late game, once you unlock all the teleporters, you can just like fast travel freely. You know what I mean? All over the map while you go and try to clean up all of the rest of the items and get 100% completion. Clean up the rest of the items and then continue on with the game. So yeah, traversal is a pain in the butt, man. I felt like it kind of like padding. You know what I mean? It was so annoying. I hated that. Another negative is the performance. The game's performance overall, I would say for the most part, the game was fine. I guess it was okay performance wise, but I did get a slowdown here or there. Which area? There was this area. It was this one area where the game was you would notice a definite frame drop because of all those swarms of creatures that are on if I can talk. Those swarms of creatures that are underwater. I'll probably pop it up on screen if I can, find it, sifting through all my footage. But there's these swarms of creatures that you can find underwater, and when you reach that area, the game definitely slows, like the frame rate definitely drops a bit because of all of that on screen. Also, for whatever reason, the cutscenes are at 30 FPS. Why? Why are the cutscenes at 30 frames per second? I don't understand that. My only guess is that they did it in order to increase performance because some of these cutscenes are in real time. I've noticed, especially during like boss fights. When you get the little cutscene during the boss fight, it shows the items coming off the monster and then going to Samus in real time. It is not it doesn't seem like a pre-rendered cutscene. So I guess in order to cut down on performance, they reduce the looks like they reduced the pre-rendered cut. I don't know. Is the pre-rendered or I think it's the pre-rendered cutscenes that are. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell what the difference or which ones are pre-rendered and which ones are rendered in game. I don't know. But I'm gonna say that the pre-rendered cutscenes. I think I remember reading that it's the pre-rendered cutscenes that are the ones that are at 30 frames per second, which is I don't get it. But like I said, I guess they just did it to help increase performance. But it's pretty jarring though, man. Like what the heck? But at least for the most part, the gameplay, when you're playing in game, it's at a smooth 60, so that's great. Yeah. And that's about it for Oh, here's another negative. Why wasn't there an extra cutscene, man? I don't know. Let me see. What does getting 100% do? In every Metroid game, when you get 100%, you get to see Samus without her suit on, man. She takes her suit off. That's always been the reward for getting 100% completion since the very first Metroid. Okay, so let's take a look at the extras. I looked it up, and apparently the 100% completion, guys, is some extra artwork or something like that. I'm a little disappointed. I'm used to the extras being Samus being shown without her power suit on. Let's check it out. Yeah, so we got it all. Apparently there's one for each area. Oh, he can't. Oh, snap. Look at that. So that's how he got Kraid, huh? Wow. Okay. So he enslaved Kraid. But I thought we killed Kraid in Metroid 2, though. Or was it Super? It was no, in Super Metroid. I thought we killed Kraid in Super Metroid. How does he keep coming back? Oh wait. Oh, okay. Okay, so what I read, according to what I read, apparently these artworks show. It shows. Yeah. So the Malkin came and ruled over. So I guess they came and and booted the other tribe out, fed them to the wildlife and all that type stuff, experimented on them. Yeah, this is really freaking cool, man. I would love to get another comic. I would love to get another Metroid comic. I wanted to say, I wanted to say, man, I want to get it like a Metroid anime or something, but I'm afraid the wrong people might get control of it, man. There's too many, the entertainment industry sucks nowadays, man. Here in America, so I don't know. I don't want nobody on Netflix getting their hands on Samus. I don't want none of that. Screw that, man. Like if there's gonna be a Metroid anime or a movie, it needs to be done by Yoshio Sakamoto, man. Let it be done in Japan with Yoshio Sakamoto at the helm, please. But yeah, so All right, so I looked at it. It's just like it's some cool artwork that's showing the Malkin taking over the planet and stuff, and showing what they were doing before Samus got there, and show him enslaving Creed and all that type stuff. It's pretty cool. It is fine, but I wish there was more, man. I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see Samus without her suit on. I don't know why. That's been a staple in every Metroid game, to my knowledge. Yeah, every single Metroid game, every Metroid 1, 2, Super Mission, all three Metroid Primes, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Other M. Yeah, I don't remember what the 100% completion was for Metroid Other M. I forgot. Yeah, I don't get it. Metroid Fusion. I think I said Fusion. I don't know. I don't know why they decided to forego that, man. In favor of some freaking artwork. But whatever. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of rambling on. Yeah, man. The bosses in this game were freaking cool too. They were really cool. I liked all the bosses in here, man. The gameplay was just so good, man. I gotta say this. I will say, well, combat wise, the gameplay is probably some of the best in the Metroid series ever. Clunky controls aside, they weren't that clunky, but they were kind of clunky though. It's kind of yeah, but it still worked though. Okay, the Emmys. Originally I wasn't going to put anything in here about the Emmys because honestly I forgot. I forgot to talk about them while I was recording the AvirxTalks portion while I was doing a review discussion or whatever. And I didn't remember to talk about them until I was editing. Until I was editing, and I thought, I'm just not gonna bother. Like, man, but I was about to, click render to, render the video and upload it, and I decided at the last second, screw it, I'm gonna mention it. I gotta talk about them. I have to talk about the Emmys. They're a big part of the Metroid Dread, so I have to put something in here about it. That just goes to show you how kind of meh they are. Compared to the hype Nintendo was trying to put out for them. They were hyping these Emmys up to be this huge thing in Metroid Dread, even going so far as to say that the word dread in the title is actually referring to the dread that you're supposed to feel from the Emmys chasing you and whatever. And it's just like, no dread. No, I don't feel any dread being chased by the Emmys. They aren't frightening in the slightest bit. They can be a bit thrilling, when you're running away from them. But other than that, I completely forgot to talk about them when I was recording. So, I mean, they're okay. I'm not saying that they're bad or there's something wrong with the Emmys, but Nintendo was really hyping these things up. You know what I'm saying? Like, these Emmys are this huge thing, and then they end up just being like another enemy. Just end up being another enemy that have a section all to themselves, and they just chase you when you go in their lair, and that's it. And you need a special cannon to defeat them. That's it. You know what I mean? They didn't play any huge role in the story. Honestly, they're just some robot enemies that you have to defeat using special special weapons. That's it. So yeah, Nintendo. I don't know what you're doing there, man. There's no dread. They aren't scary. Honestly, Metroid Prime the Metroid Prime games had genuinely creepy levels. It had genuinely creepy moments. There were times I genuinely got scared at certain points playing Metroid Prime. Like, I'm serious. Like, I actually when I played Metroid Prime for the very first time. Was it my first Metroid game? I think I played Metroid. I think Metroid Prime was my very first Metroid game. I remember I got it for Christmas with my GameCube. And or either I rented it, one of them. And when I saw a space pirate for the first time, I went into this dark room and I heard growling, and I went into this dark hallway, and this space pirate jumped out at me. I got scared and ran. Heck, like, it made me jump. It scared the crap out of me, man. And then there's the creepy moments with the Metroids, in Metroid Prime, when you just know they're gonna break out of the freaking glass and get you. And then the power shuts down when you trigger some sort of mechanism, and then you're walking through the area and it's all quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom, they break the glass, and then the music starts up, and it's like, holy crap. You know, Metroid Prime was genuinely creepy and scary. It had genuinely creepy and scary moments in it. Here, not at all. The enemies, to me, they weren't these big bad fear-inducing, unstoppable creatures that are gonna put the fear and dread in you. And holy crap, it's gonna be an experience. No, nothing like that at all. This ain't no Mr. X. This ain't no Tyrant, aka Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. Far from that. So yeah, the enemies, they're okay. But nothing to write home about. They aren't this, they didn't live up to the hype that Nintendo was trying to build for them. So that's my, thoughts about the Emmys there. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of rambling on, man. I really enjoyed this game. It was so nice to get, to finally get a new Metroid game, man. We got a new freaking Metroid game and a freaking side scroller at that, man. Classic freaking side scroller, man. And it was really good. We got a lot of background lore, man. A lot of new stuff, meeting the Chozo and all that stuff, man. Samus becoming. This story was excellent, man. This is one of the best Metroid stories ever. This story is like reveals a lot of stuff, man. This pushed the story forward by quite a bit, man. What I mean to say is this story is very significant in the Metroid series. Samus became a Metroid, man. She came to a new planet where there are living, breathing Chozo. I don't know if, for those of you who don't know Metroid or have never played Metroid, you don't know how big that is, man. You don't know how big that is, man. And then the freaking, like, the fight scenes in this game was some of the best. Samus was a complete and total boss, man. She was so freaking cool. She had the whole cool, guys don't look at explosion vibe. She was like a freaking action hero. She knew she was bad. She knew, bad isn't cool. She knew she was awesome. I love her mannerism. Like, she's like just like she just didn't give a crap. She knew she was like powerful and everything. Like, yeah, I'm powerful. I know I'm cool. I love that, man. Except for kind of at the end when she looked so helpless and she was banging her arm cannon on Ravenbeak trying to get out of him. That kind of threw out the coolness a little bit. But once she got that freaking Metroid armor, holy crap, her coolness shot up through the roof, man. Wow, that Metroid armor, man. I want to read more about it. I want to learn everything about that Metroid armor. And that freaking beam was really cool, too. Like I said, it wasn't the first time she had a super powerful beam. I don't think she's ever had a beam weapon like that, right? I don't know. She's had hyper beams before. She had the hyper beam in Super Metroid, and then she had the phase-on hyper beam in Metroid Prime 3. And in Metroid Prime 1, 2, but it wasn't really a hyper beam, though. She just went into hyper mode, and then it powered up her arm cannon, and she made it more powerful and infused with phase-on and all that. But yeah, man, that Metroid armor was so amazing. I wish we could have played with it. I was so disappointed. I was like, no, don't lose the armor. I'm like, I don't care if you can't control your ship. You better keep that armor. It is so freaking cool and awesome, man, and powerful. Oh, that was such a waste, man. Oh man, you know what they need to do? Oh yeah, about the ending. I don't really understand what happened there. What happened there? Why did that X turn her back into normal Samus? Yeah, I don't get that. And why didn't what's his robe attack? What was his name? I can't remember his name. The robe dude, the robe Chozo. His name was something Robe. I forget. Quiet Robe, I think. Why didn't he attack her? I don't get that. He was a red X. Red X usually just fills up all of your ammo and your health. It's like a full heal. I don't know, man. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna hold out hope that now that she's a full Metroid, she can transform her suit into that form, that cool Metroid armor, and flip flop back at will between the armors at will. I really hope so, please. Or make it one of these things where maybe under certain circumstances she goes into some super powered up mode and she can activate the armor. It's not just because if she could just activate that armor on and off at will, it would make her too powerful in video games. So obviously you're gonna have to come up with something to scale it back. But yeah, okay. I really feel like I'm rambling, but man, this is Metroid though, man. This is my favorite video game series ever, man. So you have to forgive me for gushing and talking about it like this. Oh man. Yeah, man, I just had so much fun playing this, man. It was just so nice. It was coming back to Metroid. It was like meeting an old friend again. You guys got to understand, there hasn't been a proper Metroid game in over a decade, man. Do you know how like and even we haven't had a real, a really a great Metroid even longer than that. Metroid Other M was the last proper Metroid that came out, and that was back in 2010, I think 2009 or 2010 on the Wii, Nintendo Wii, and that was came up to mixed reviews. It was pretty decent, but it was pretty decent. I enjoyed it, but it split the fan base. It was not well received. It got mixed reviews. A lot of Metroid fans didn't like it. I liked it, but I acknowledged its negatives as well. So if you don't want to count Metroid Other M as a proper Metroid, the last game that came out before that was Metroid Prime 3, and that was back in 2007. So even longer than a decade if you don't count Metroid Other M. But Metroid Other M is a good game though. Not one of the best in the series though. So yeah, man, it was just been a long time, man. I'm just so happy. And then we get Metroid Prime 4 later on, man. Metroid is back, ladies and gentlemen. Samus Aran is back. And also, screw you, douche nozzle, screw you, dickheads, saying, this isn't worth $60. Look at this. This is a freaking 2D Metroidvania. I beat this in under 10 hours. This is $60. Piss off. Piss right off, man. Just piss off. Yeah, Call of Duty with people spend 70, 80, 90, $100 on Call of Duty every year, even though the campaigns in that game is only like freaking 4 or 5 hours. But I understand it's the multiplayer. People just buy it mainly for the multiplayer, but still though. You know what I'm saying? What about people buy single player game, these single player first person shooters that last like a few hours and nobody complains about that? You know what I'm saying? So just piss off, man. I didn't mind paying $60 better than 70. Screw Sony and their freaking $70. The only game I have paid $70 for was freaking Demon Souls, and that was because it was the very first PlayStation 5 game that I wanted to play. They didn't have anything. I wanted to try Demon Souls. I thought, why the heck not? I'll just this very once, I will bite the bullet and pay $70 for my very first PlayStation 5 games. And that was it. After that, no more. I'm not paying no $70 for no video games. I even ended up selling Demon Souls because I didn't like it. It wasn't my cup of tea, man. I got frustrated playing that game. Not my thing. I enjoyed the heck out of Sekiro though. But okay, now I'm really rambling. Thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed Metroid. It is my favorite video game series of all time. I'm definitely gonna, start looking up. When I'm done, I'm gonna go and read about this and see what other people are saying about it, other fans and stuff like that. Yeah, I had a blast playing this, man. Yeah, I'm looking. I can't wait till Metroid Prime 4 comes out. I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be there day one, man. I don't know if I'm still gonna be making content then, but hey, I'm definitely gonna play it though, no matter what. Obviously, I'm always gonna be a gamer. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have watched this far, made it this far to me talking, rambling on, me gushing and fanboying, I appreciate you very much, man. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my playthrough as well. Please check out my other stuff. Please remember to thumb up the video and subscribe. I appreciate that. I know some of you guys hate when YouTubers say that, but I really need it. I really, really do, man. I really do. Don't really have much of a choice. I'm just trying to get my channel out, out there and have it grow. So if you guys could do that, I appreciate that very much. Please check out my other content on my channel. Maybe you could catch me on the stream sometimes. My streams are kind of all over the place. Sometimes I stream at 9 p.m. Hawaii time, 12 a.m. Hawaii time, or I'm not gonna be able to stream in the morning anymore. I don't know. We'll see. And sometimes in the morning at 8 a.m. Hawaii time. So that's either 9 p.m., 12 a.m., or 8 a.m. Hawaii time. So yeah, that's when I stream. I stream only on YouTube. I don't stream on Twitch anymore. I hate the bull crap. You can watch my video on my YouTube channel called I'm Leaving Twitch for details on that. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good day, everybody. Metroid is back, everybody. Samus Aran was so cool. Bye, guys.